What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Hey, what's going on, guys? Once again, Stephen Hyder, Gate City Sports Channel. If you're new to the channel, guys, please do me a huge favor, guys. Hit that subscribe button, guys. You have no clue how much it helps a channel like this. And hey, look, I try to do daily content, guys. I always try to cover interesting topics, and I generally try to use film to back up the statements that I make. So if you're into that kind of thing, hit that subscribe button, guys. I got a feeling you'll like this channel. To my old G's out there, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do. Hey, look, I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for some of you guys. And you know it. You know how much work you guys have put in for me, how much you've taken this channel on your shoulders, put it out there on platforms like Reddit, Facebook. I mean, you guys have put it everywhere. Twitter, you guys have talked to people you knew. I mean, look, y'all know I appreciate you. So if I can just ask you guys to do one simple thing where you don't have to do quite as much work, and it's just hit that like button, guys. That like button, sorry, wrong hand. That like button, guys, that's what communicates with YouTube and lets YouTube know to push this content out to the platform. All right, y'all. So I think we need to talk, guys. So today's topic, I want to talk about three guys I expect who are low-key guys I expect, or I hope at least, will return to the Philadelphia Eagles in 2020, for the 2020 season, I should say. So this is what I'm going to say. I made a video yesterday and I was talking about the Cowboys hiring Mike McCarthy. We all know that Ron Rivera is a good coach. I don't think you guys need me to make a video that would break down Ron Rivera. Maybe when I get a better indication of their offensive coordinator and I get a chance to really analyze film on their offensive coordinator, maybe I'll make a video about what kind of offense and what kind of, I'll do those type of videos later on in the offseason. But for right now, I think the one thing that should be known is that we kind of have a golden opportunity. Look, I'm going to tell you straightforward. I think Mike McCarthy is going to be a decent hire for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to hide what I know about football just because I'm an Eagles fan. And I would love for it not to work out because I want the Eagles to have the best shot at repeating going to the playoffs and not having too many, roadblocks in the way. But I do know football, and I do know that Mike McCarthy, while his system got a little vanilla, I know he's a good coach. I'm not stupid. I've been around. I've seen him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to act like it's not a good hire. But this is what I will say. The Cowboys are in an awkward position. Listen, you got an entire new offense coming in. I know they retained Kellen Moore, but he will not have play calling duties here. Not this year, he won't. So now Dak, who's in the middle of a contract dispute, might be missing pivotal moments because he's going to really need to get into those season training programs with the Cowboys. He needs to be there for spring practices. He needs to be there for the summer. He needs to be there for training camp and preseason in those first couple of games because he's got to learn all new cadences. He's got to learn the different terminology. Like, he's got a lot to learn. Like, this is not a small feat he's going to have to go through. And on top of that, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, I'm not a Cowboy fan, so y'all look it up. I could be completely wrong about this. But my understanding is Amari Cooper does not have a contract for this season. So you go without Amari Cooper, then you go without your most dynamic wide receiver and one of your most dynamic players, period, on the offensive side of the football. Things are not so sunny in Dallas, to be quite honest about the situation. Look, the Redskins, I trust in Ron Rivera. I think he's going to make that organization, respectable again, but that's not an easy turnaround. That's going to take time. That's not going to be like, within the first 5 weeks, we're going to see. No, that's going to take time to turn the wheels around on that thing. So what I think is a golden opportunity for the Eagles is the fact that we might just have consistency that no one else is going to have. I mean, look, we got some things that could go on the defensive side of the ball, depending on what happens with Jim Schwartz. But I'll be honest with you, I don't anticipate any major changes on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think Schwartz is going anywhere. I don't. So what's our big changes? Look, I would like to see Mike Groh gone, but I'll be honest with you. If you ask me my honest opinion, if I think he's going to be gone, I would say that it's 60% likely he's here. I would say it's a little more likely he's here than he's gone, although he should be gone. So with that said, I think the only really major changes we might face is you might see Press Taylor is highly respected, guys. I'm not a big fan of his. I seen a lot of mechanical breakdowns on Carson Wentz, so I think he's a little too buddy-buddy with Carson, and I don't see him over there talking to Carson when he's on the bench. There's one guy I see talking to Carson, so this is what I'm proposing. Might be the only changes we might see, which would be at quarterback coach with Press Taylor And I know we're going to see a different wide receiver coach. I can tell you straightforward that Carson Welch is gone. I know football. I know this organization to feel very confident in saying that. There's no way he's coming back. Now, what I don't know is I don't know where you would see a guy like Josh McCown, because here's the thing. McCown he's a coach. He's coached here in North Carolina where I'm at. He coaches just outside of Charlotte. He has ambitions of becoming an NFL coach. I do know that about him. He has the ability to coach more than just quarterbacks. He can coach wide receivers. He can do a lot of different things. I would not be shocked to see Josh McCown possibly back as a quarterback coach or a wide receiver coach here in Philadelphia. And if you think it's absurd to think that he would be the wide receiver coach, know this. When we got all these practice squad players caught up to the squad at the end of the year, guess who was over there pitching in, helping coach them? Yeah, that's right. Josh McCown. All right, guys. So with that said, let's run into today's topic. I want to talk about 3 offensive players that I hope are back this upcoming season. These are low-key guys. All right, y'all. Get to the conference.
On second down, Wentz looking to throw far side of the field. He's got a completion, the first NFL catch.
Was there any doubt in your mind that the first person that I was going to mention would be anyone else besides Greg Ward Jr.? Come on, man. I don't know what else this guy would need to do to warrant a contract, because in my eyes, it will be an outright shame if this guy does not have a contract. And I'm talking about not a 1-year deal. Like, we need to get this kid on a 3 to 5 year contract. Like, I've seen plenty from Greg Ward Jr. to know this kid is pretty damn good in the slot. This is the first guy I would love to lock up. And I just want to show you guys, I showed you that clip there was the first reception in Greg Ward's professional career. I just want to show you in that Seattle game, the first one, to later in the season, how much this kid progressed in his route running. I mean, just the kid came on so quick, so fast, picked up so much, had such a connection with Carson Wentz that I just can't see any rational way you leave him off. But let's get to that earlier play, and I'll break down what went wrong and what is going to happen going forward. Ward gets about a step too deep and goes inside instead of out. I got to give the kid credit, because that play can break other young players, right? Like, they feel like, well, I was open. He just missed me with the ball. They don't understand where the quarterback wants them to be. But you know what? Greg Ward Jr., being a former quarterback, is able to empathize with Carson Wentz and understand, oh, I'm not where I'm needed to be by this quarterback, which I think just makes their connection special. And I got to be honest with you. I'm going to go and I'm going to show you this play. This is the same exact route development, but this time, because Greg Ward put in the work and the effort, boy, it's a whole different result.
Every possession now, and it's a first down.
To me, that play right there shows me everything I need to know about Greg Ward Jr. I know this kid needs to be back on this football team next year, because what you just witnessed there is 100% chemistry between quarterback and slot receiver. And this is a big pivotal third down conversion. And look, this is a lot different from that Seattle game earlier in the season. Ward is running a very, well route. He's doing a really good job running the route this time. And Wentz is even ahead of the game, ahead of the curve this time. Wentz knows Ward Jr. is going to be where he wants him to be. So he's throwing that ball before Ward even makes the break. That's a big deal. And I'm going to break this down and I'll show you it. Look how well Greg Ward Jr. runs this route. Now, I want you guys to really pay attention to how quickly Carson Wentz gets this ball out of his hands. He's honestly throwing this football before Ward even makes his cut. So just the rhythm, the timing, the chemistry built between these two players is quite impressive. Okay, the second football player, under key kind of player here for the Eagles, I would like to see back. Come on, it's Boston Scott. I almost called him Junior. It's Boston Scott. The guy he's very dynamic, and he gives the Eagles a great change of pace back. He's very Darren Sproles-esque. We all know that. He's a little stronger between the tackles running than I thought he would be. He gives the Eagles the ability to go 2-back sets, and I got to tell you, man, the kid really adds an element of speed to this offense, and I can't see how, after seeing what this kid can do down the stretch, you don't bring him back. I mean, I think this is a no dud kind of situation. Like, you can't You can't possibly mess this one up. You know you got to bring him back.
0.2% of their targets have been dropped this year. As they go with Scott on the jet motion.
Can you imagine what would happen if the Eagles can finally find a way of getting Deshaun Jackson back healthy and using him correctly, right? Getting outside speed through the draft, through free agency, whatever. Adding pieces that make the outside receivers faster, adding that outside speed element. And now you got lateral speed in guys like Miles Sanders and guys like Boston Scott. Can you imagine a jet motion where you got Deshaun Jackson on the field or another player with that kind of versatility to where are you going to really play up and play for a play like that, knowing that, boy, if they fake that jet motion, you came up close on Djax, and maybe you do or maybe you don't have safety help. Like, I'm telling you, man, this could be a nasty element to this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And that's a guy I think you bring back because he's a matchup nightmare from the two back set to just even putting him in the backfield, putting off center to the left or to the right, putting him in, back 5 or 6 yards deep underneath center for Wentz and have him back in the backfield 5 or 6 yards. Like, this kid he's a nightmare for defenses to match up with.
First down, they'll give it to Scott again, and he will find it.
It's amazing. This is a 5'6" guy. I mean, he's a stocky build dude. He's like 200 pounds. I mean, he's got that running back build, no doubt about it. But look at the toughness this kid, demonstrated running in the middle. I mean, that's between the guard and center he's running at. I mean, he does a little jump step there, but boy, I mean, he is even offset. He's offset to Carson Wentz's right, man, and he's a dangerous back, man. This is a dangerous back that really needs to be on the Eagles, football team next year.
Second down and 10, and now it is Scott inside the 15.
The third unheralded, under the radar guy that all three of these guys be with you should have been on the 53-man roster to start this season. Let's not lie. All three of these guys I'm about to name, they should have absolutely been on our roster from day one. With that said, that mistake does not need to be repeated in 2020. All three of these guys need to be on the roster. And the last guy I'm going to mention is Joshua Perkins. Look, I've given you a slot receiver. I've given you the change of pace second back. And now that pivotal third tight end role that the Eagles so desperately need when we're running those 12-man formations. Just a guy that has versatility like every other player we've named. This is a guy who's kind of a wide receiver, kind of a tight end, kind of a damn good football player. And that's all that really matters. So my third guy that needs to be on this team, Joshua Perkins, third tight end. Hey, I appreciate everything about Rashard Rodgers and everything, but time to move on. Joshua Perkins, you gave him an opportunity, bro, and he seized it. So let's get to it.
Wentz looking around and throws all the way across the field.
If there are any of you youngins out there who watch this channel and you're in middle school or high school and you're playing football, listen closely. That is a spectacular play. Do not do that. That is not the way you're supposed to play quarterback. But that is an exceptionally talented guy that is a once in a generational type arm talent out there playing. And I got to tell you, this is why I think Joshua Perkins needs to be on the football team. The amount of trust you need to have to roll your pocket, throw across your body, and have trust that not only are you going to throw across your body, but you're going to lead the tight end, hoping he continues that play into the corner. Boy, that's chemistry. Just like that Greg Ward Jr. pass I showed you. That's chemistry between your receiver, your tight end, and your quarterback. That's a guy, in my opinion, you got to have back. And Joshua Perkins, man, I got to tell you, he's not this, glamour and glitzy kind of player. And, he does okay on the run blocking. He's pretty good in the short game, but he's not spectacular at anything. But he's good and trustworthy at everything, which is, that's a big thing in your third tight end. And this is a guy to me, you got to bring him back.
And 5. Wentz.
All right, guys, these are my 3 under the radar offensive football players I would like to see back for the 2020 football season. Question of the day, guys. You tell me. I want you to take 3 guys who either played pivotal roles as a backup or were not on the original 53. So don't give me the starters. I think we all kind of know the starters. But give me 3 guys that were either backups or were on the practice squad originally that you would like to see back for the 2020 season. All right, y'all. You know what time it is, man. It's time to hop off here. So if y'all can do me a favor, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh, yeah, how do we close our videos here in the Philadelphia Eagles land? Oh, yeah, we go something like E-A-E-L-E-S. Let's go, Eagles, guys.